All right, so as of just a couple of minutes ago, the Halloween spotlight has begun inside of Fish, which means that the Pumpkin King has now been moved into the main lobby of the Frightful Village. So we're going to go ahead and check out everything that he has to offer, hopefully complete his quest and see what the reward is going to be. I can already tell that there's some type of a key right down here and maybe like a stone. And on top of that, for some reason over here, this lantern is interactable. No idea why, but we're going to figure that all out. If we begin to talk to him, he says, "Greetings, mortal. I am the Pumpkin King, ruler of all things spooky. The Fish Fright Festival is upon us and I require your assistance. Can you harvest 3 pumpkins from a pumpkin patch, carve them, then hand them out?" We're gonna go ahead and say, sure, excellent, come back once you've done that. Harvest, carve, and give 3 pumpkins away. Now, obviously, in order for us to go ahead and harvest some pumpkins, you would assume that it's in the pumpkin patch. So if you are watching this video and you don't usually play Fish, and this is the first time that you're taking part in Fish Fright, for starters, welcome. There's a lot for you to do here. But basically, from the location of where the Pumpkin King is, you're gonna travel past the witch all the way right up here, and then you're gonna make a left-hand turn right where there's purple houses. Let's go ahead and travel all the way back here and you will arrive to the pumpkin patch. Over here, you'll be able to harvest a couple of pumpkins. So we're going to go ahead and grab, I believe it was 3 of them. So let's just grab those. There should be a carving station around here somewhere. Now, I'm assuming that the wagon is actually the carving station. That's why it's interactable, because this one over here is also interactable. So let's go ahead and click interact on the closest one here. And we carved 1 pumpkin, 2 pumpkins, and number 3. Find highlighted NPCs across the island in the normal fish world to deliver pumpkins to. Now, this is mentioning that we have to go to the normal world. So let's go ahead and pull out our frightful mirror again, which I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning. For those of you that are just sort of jumping into this game, wanting to only do this event specifically for the spotlight, when you jump into Fish, you will have inside of your inventory already a frightful mirror. So you can go ahead and pull this out. It'll teleport you right to the frightful world. Either way, here we are at Moosewood. We got ourselves our first event character right here. Let's go ahead and interact with him. Give him 1 of the pumpkins. There we go. Pumpkin delivered. Next, from Moosewood, we're going to travel over to Roselet. Over here, there will be another event character that we can go ahead and hand in a pumpkin to. As you can see, he is pretty much found right here in the center. And then we've traveled over to Sunstone Island to go ahead and hand in the final one right over here. So there we go. Return to the Pumpkin King to receive the Rune Tier reward. So let's now pull out our frightful mirror again, travel back, and let's see what this is about. So we talk to him. "I sense you've gathered the pumpkin's essence. Well done, mortal. Speak to the Pumpkin King again to begin the key tier request when you're ready. And please come back and talk to me if you want more." Now, if we start with the second portion here, he says, "Are you ready for a real challenge? Bring it on. Catch 5 spooky, eerie, or frightful mutated fish fright fish." Now, I'll be honest, man, this is actually fairly easy to do, especially if you have some of the newer rods. So let's get this done really, really quick. Now, obviously, I do want to point out that if you have any of the enchants, it's probably going to be a lot easier for you as well. Even with that, though, I think I'm going to opt for using the spooky rod just because it makes it easier having a variety of different mutations to go for. I've already gotten, I think 2 or 3 of them. So let me just lock in really quick here and we'll be back once we have all 5. All right, we're good. All right, I was in the middle of eating my breakfast while I was fishing, so I didn't get to show it to you guys, but you'll know when you're done because a pop-up will come out of the Pumpkin King letting you know that you're done. So now let's go ahead and talk to the Pumpkin King. He says, "You actually did it. It wasn't easy. You completed both quests. Congratulations. We got a backglider, ghost theory, as well as the title Hollow Maker." Now I'm going to switch out my elite glider for the backglider, and dude, look at this. Wait, this is actually the same speed as the level 1100 or 1200 glider, which is basically the elite glider. This is literally the same exact speed. It might actually be even a little bit faster, to be honest. Now, what's really cool about this quest is that you kind of get 2 major things, right? For starters, you get the backglider, which is, again, the same exact speed as the elite glider that you would get at level, I think it's 1100. And on top of that, a lot of you probably know this or don't know this, but in the game, we have these things called Glimmerfin boots. These basically allow you to sprint in the game, pretty much. And on top of that, when you combine this with your glider, it goes even faster. Well, now when you complete this quest, you also get Jack's treads, which work the exact same way as Glimmerfin boots. If anything, dude, I don't know, I might be tripping, but I think they actually go slightly faster. And again, it's literally a completely free-to-play way of getting these. I mean, not that the other way isn't free-to-play, but if you remember anything about the Glimmerfin boots, it was quite the tedious task to be able to get them, having to fish around for all the parts. But look at us now, man. And honestly, I kind of like these more. These are way more fitting for my actual outfit for October. And honestly, even for all of November. Now, there is one more reward, which I'm going to show you guys in just a second. I'm waiting for them to push out the new servers so I can show you this, because in the version that I'm in right now, it's actually not available. So give me 1 second and we'll transition over to that. All right, so there we go. These servers have now restarted and we are back in the game. If we take a look over here, basically when you complete the first version of the quest, you're gonna get your hands on the classic pumpkin boat. This has 100 speed, 20 steering with a 0.1 acceleration. This is what it looks like right here. Actually a super sick looking boat. Obviously, it's not really all that fast, but dude, this looks super sick. No particle effect, no type of like trail or anything like that. I'm gonna assume that the upgraded version of this, which is for the second quest, probably does. So let's check that out. Nah, this might actually be my favorite boat in the entire game right now. Bro, what? This is sick, bro. Look at this. So as you can see, the Ghost Deary is the E tier of the quest reward. Speed is 200, steering 20 with acceleration 0.3. This one is definitely way more tolerable. It's a little bit hard to turn, I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, bro, it looks sick. Either way, man, a pretty simple little quest, nothing really too crazy. If you really want to get done with this as quick as possible, especially if you're just joining into the game for the spotlight, make sure that you are using the spooky rod. You can get this very, very easily inside of the actual Witch Cauldron quest. All you have to do is just turn in 10 ingredients and you've got yourself the spooky rod, which is going to make your life 1,000 times easier. In total, the quest probably took me like 10 minutes. Now, for those of you that are daily players of the game, maybe on the lower level side, make sure that you guys are completing this also so you can get that back glider as well as the Jack's treads. Gonna make your life a lot easier. And honestly, man, what little cool rewards did they give? It's actually pretty sick. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Rather quick one for today, but I did want to get a guide out for you guys so you can fully understand what you need to do on here. All right, so I do want to squeeze this in here to the end of the video. I was actually in the middle of editing this when I realized that I didn't show you guys the titles, but basically from the first quest, you're going to get the title called Pumpkin Gatherer. Nothing really too special with this one as far as I'm aware. If I go ahead and type in the chat here, just random letters, you'll see that it just changes your name like a really weird color and it says Pumpkin Gather. And same thing goes for the second one as well. It is called Hollow Maker. I don't believe that this also looks interesting at all. It's basically just a normal title that says Hollow Maker. So if you want to have two exclusive titles, since I know that there is a lot of you out there that are sort of collectors, those are two that you can go ahead and add to your list. I wanted to make sure that I included this in the video because I know that somebody was going to point it out in the comment section and be like, yo, you forgot the titles. And I will also include the portion where I do mention about a Witch Cauldron for those of you that are just playing the spotlight for this event. This is the cauldron that I'm talking about. Just talk to the witch. It'll explain everything on what you got to do to be able to get the rod that I'm using right here, which is the spooky rod. All right, so this should be closer to the end of the video, so the next portion will just be me closing it out. So let's go ahead and switch back over to that. With that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.